Hello, how are you? Family of Telemathematics. Welcome to a new video of our channel. So, let's get started. To begin with the video, we will recall that in a right triangle, we have the hypotenuse, which is defined as the side opposite the right angle or the side with the greatest length, and the other two sides are the cathetus. We have the acute angle at vertex A, which we will identify as alpha. Now, once the angle has been identified, the front side becomes the opposite side, which is defined as the side opposite the acute angle, and the other side becomes the adjacent side, which is defined as the side next to the acute angle. With these elements, the trigonometric ratios in a right triangle with an acute angle are defined. First, the sine of alpha is defined as the ratio between the length of the opposite side and the length of the hypotenuse. Second, the cosine of alpha is defined as the ratio between the length of the adjacent side and the length of the hypotenuse. And third, the tangent of alpha is defined as the ratio between the length of the opposite side and the length of the adjacent side. On the other hand, the reciprocal trigonometric ratios for this same acute angle are defined, that is, the cosecant of alpha as the ratio between the length of the hypotenuse and the length of the opposite side, which would be the reciprocal trigonometric ratio of the sine. The secant is the ratio between the length of the hypotenuse and the length of the adjacent side, which would be the reciprocal trigonometric ratio of the cosine. And finally, the cotangent is the ratio between the length of the adjacent side and the length of the opposite side, which would be the reciprocal trigonometric ratio of the tangent. Next, we will do an activity on this topic. Define the trigonometric ratios for the angles indicated. Literal A. We have a right triangle with sides M, P, N respectively, and the acute angle is alpha. It is recommended that you begin by identifying the elements in the triangle shown, that is, the hypotenuse, the opposite side, and the adjacent side, with respect to the acute angle. Once this is done, we define the sine of alpha as the ratio between the length of n and the length of m, the cosine of alpha as the ratio between the length of p and the length of m, the tangent of alpha as the ratio between the length of n and the length of p, the cosecant of alpha as the ratio between the length of m and the length of n, the secant of alpha as the quotient between the length of m and the length of p, the cotangent of alpha as the quotient between the length of p and the length of n. Literal B. We have a right triangle with sides 5, 6, 8 respectively, and the acute angle is alpha. Similarly, begin by identifying the hypotenuse, the opposite side, and the adjacent side with respect to the acute angle. And we define the sine of alpha as the quotient between 5 and 8. The cosine of alpha as the quotient between 6 and 8. The tangent of alpha as the quotient between 5 and 6. The cosecant of alpha as the quotient between 8 and 5. The secant of alpha as the quotient between 8 and 6. And the cotangent of alpha as the quotient between 6 and 5. Very well. Let me know in the comments how easy it was for you. But if you have any questions, please review the material again or let us know so we can help you.
If you liked the video, I encourage you to give it a like, to subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and to activate notifications so you can see the new topics that we will be releasing, to leave us your comments, and to share it with your friends. Until the next video,